Handing pancake.
Kendrick Lamar took a 5-year hiatus from dropping solo music in 2017, and when he finally returned on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, in the track Worldwide Steppers, he has a line that says,
"Writer's block for 2 years, nothing moved me."
I'm something of a YouTuber myself. I've been making content on YouTube since I was a kid, and now over a decade later, here I am, still trying my hand at it. And yeah, I'm more successful at it now than I've ever been or thought I would be. Something about me trying this as proof of concept to make funny videos for my friends has evolved, but on the other hand, something about it has left me unfulfilled where it used to fulfill me. When I started getting into this sort of video essay format, I was angry, edgy, and upset at the world and upset at my job. Nowadays, the chip on my shoulder has softened and I feel myself going, why would I make a video about that? Where even a year or two ago, I would have jumped on the very idea to talk about it. Is it the political and socio-economic state of the world that makes me question why things are the way they are? I don't know. A couple years ago, I really tried to balance YouTube and my job, and that led me to uploading almost every week that summer, and looking back, I don't love a lot of those videos, but that let me realize how to tighten the workflow and begin to treat something I enjoy very seriously. Someone who is no longer in my life described to me the process of honing your craft, almost like a puberty stage of whatever art form you're in. You know, if we use the Pokemon metaphor, it's like, yeah, Charmander is cute and Charizard is the final form, but no one really wants to be the ugly Charmeleon in the middle. It's about finding the spot that isn't quite that Charmeleon. And I started the video and titled it about the Kendrick Lamar lyric because I think now more than ever I feel like I can relate to that. I mean, it's not the entire set of lines, but as far as this goes, I really feel like this right now. I can't tell you the last video besides 3 or 4 among 14 that I really enjoyed making, which is also why I feel like I've been giving my fans and those who support me mediocre content. And I've gotten comments before where people say they really liked my work, and I was inspiring them, and that kind of stuff is awesome. And when I don't put my all into this, it really feels like I let myself and those people down. I know this is super unhealthy to think about this all the time, but it's something that seems important to do so. And maybe that is just overthinking, but writer's block is real, and looking back through my most recent videos on YouTube, I can confidently say I really liked maybe 5 videos I've made since the beginning of 2023. Writer's block combined with a little imposter syndrome is a bitch, and I felt like there's no point to make certain videos, so why even try? And thus, I try to type, I try to work on something, and then it becomes half finished and abandoned. But then when I watched through some of the good videos I made, I remembered why I wanted to do this. I remembered why I liked this. I remembered why I did this. And it reignites that spark, even if just for a short little while. And yet, I still feel like it's sometimes impossible to put the pen to the paper, to type something up, and to record a video. I know that in any creative endeavor, no one starts from the finished product. Something of quality takes time and effort. Tiring hours spent figuring out how the vision is realized. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and To Pimp a Butterfly wasn't made in a week. What does that really mean necessarily? Should you not even consider creative endeavors just because someone else did something creatively fulfilling? I took that first step when I started college. I took this class that was about finding one's place in a new environment, or at least new for the person. It explored a book that I never ended up reading and gave me the first taste of a discussion course. At least that was what I thought. I never did the work and pretty much freeloaded the course until the very end when we had to give a speech, of which I spoke about the farm and society, and stuff like that. That course, it didn't really mean much, but over 3 years later, I think I ended up finding my place after all, whether that be actually being involved in things or making content online. And I ended that first year of school before I was really determined to grind out YouTube and get something going for myself. Before then, I had the idea to write things I'd never record, but I knew something had to change. There was only so long I could write something down before wanting to turn it into content and a real product. And I had the skills to edit video. And then that summer started, and I picked up a job at the grocery store, and my time was spent between that, learning to drive, and then I decided I wanted to do YouTube for real. And so the summer of 2022 is when I began to consistently post more than ever before, and probably since. The quantity didn't transfer when I returned to school again in the fall, but the quality and
What's up,
consistency was
guys?
there.
Today I'm going to be talking
I didn't
about
want to squander what I had started to build for myself. And then later on that year, after this Minecraft video in particular, life had really grabbed me by the reins and taken over. And I'm not going to beat you over the head with details, but I stopped having time. And even more than that, not only were my personal relationships and the failures associated with them seeping into my content, my overall interest in content creation had waned. So much of it had only been successful in small doses, and even then those who visited my channel weren't staying. Why should someone else have to deal with me being unhappy while making a video just because I was unhappy? I finally understood why YouTubers get upset checking analytics, and seeing that their newest video and strongest effort was evaluated as little more than a 6 out of 10. That next summer I picked it up again, trying my best to recapture some of that passion and magic, but I kind of view summer of 2023 as the dark age of my channel. I didn't know what I wanted to do. The fall was back to something more standard. I spent most of it not consistently uploading, instead opting to make a video I wanted for years prior about Fallout New Vegas, which was good, but I think I could do it better today. And the point of artistry and honing your craft is so you have that feeling of, oh, today I could do it better. And in 2024, I don't think I've uploaded quite enough, but overall I would say it's back to consistency. However, consistency is more of the same and not that 100% passion-filled project where every video might be super passionate. And yeah, I certainly spent more effort on some of these videos to put out something good and high quality, but to me something feels like it's still missing, which leads us to today. I don't really know what I want to do with this YouTube thing. I just know I want to do it. I want the freedom to pick every video and be unbounded by a trend of following my older videos. I'm not a Minecraft YouTuber. I want the cake and I want to eat it too. Yet I'm plagued by this feeling of there being nothing worth speaking about. And I know I could just make a content farm AI channel, talk about something that doesn't really matter but interests me. Like Makishima in Psychopaths said, I like the joy that comes from actually being in the game and participating.
I want the thrill that comes with actually playing in the game.
And I know I said I found somewhere online for myself a couple paragraphs ago, but somehow, somewhere, life has gotten so busy with college that I feel like I don't have time to dedicate to my content, meaning that place I found online is disappearing. I want my fans to stick around, but I understand that YouTube has become the back burner, which it was the plan to begin with. Other YouTubers, much larger than myself, have explored and talked about this idea, so it's not just me, but it's strange because there's a clear dividing line between the way my videos were before my channel's dark ages and right after. And I think this is in part to those life events I was referring to. Overall, my confidence was shattered for over a year. And for a while, I didn't even want to look at a Google document. And I feel like nowadays I'm back at that ability level before my confidence was torn to pieces. And I feel like I can make anything I want now on YouTube again. The problem is where I had both before, I feel like the part of me that had interest in doing so still hasn't quite come back. But the ability is back at 100%. And I've done videos for the better part of the last 2 years, and just worked on something once a year the past 8 years before that. Because I had just kind of done them and I wanted to be consistent because people told me to, and because some of them I had told myself I would make for years without really doing so. On one hand, you might consider me as having an ego, making a problem where there isn't one, which I understand. Not everyone can spend 5 to 50 hours making a video once or twice a month for 2 years for no reason. Few can even say they have the time to consider that. So what's wrong with me? How can I even take this for granted? I've been blessed with the talent and interest to use video editing to tell my story to viewers interested. I have the power to build a niche on YouTube and carve a spot into the already crowded Walmart parking lot we all call the internet. But don't get it twisted. Just because you watch this video, because you might empathize with me, or maybe because you're a small creator like myself, maybe a viewer, what have you, maybe we're in the same age group, maybe I inspire you. But don't mistake it for the world. Unless I've met you in real life and we are close, or I've known and spoken to you for a while, we are not friends. And it's not personal. I don't want a fan base too parasocial or attached. Sorry, I've seen too many creators get into trouble for that. And where my dream is something I want to be able to speak my mind about whatever topic for whatever reason, I'm not going to let a group of people who molded me into a box decide what color to paint it. because the box shouldn't even be there in the first place. And maybe that's a silly point to harp on, but as I explore this whole YouTube thing, I really want to cover all of my potential bases. So I guess I'm going to keep searching for my inspirations, but the monumental, ultimate point I want to make is that I'm going to spend more time making something I'm more proud of, both as a person and someone who's blessed to have the success I do on such a cutthroat platform. So if you watch this far, I really just want to say, thank you for listening to me rant a little bit. This is the kind of thing I've been thinking about really delving into, but recently it just felt like it's been boiling over. Just this feeling of I want to make something, but nothing to talk about. Anyway, thanks for watching, like and subscribe. See you on the flip side. A dank pancake out.